Now, today we'll be looking at the first principle of calculus. Now, in my previous video, we have talked about the general method of solving calculus, but in these videos, we are going to look at the first principle of solving calculus. Now, if you should look at these questions, let's say we have y equals to 3x raised to the power of 2. If you should use the general method, this will give us, that is, you use the power to multiply this, then subtract 1 from the power, which gives 2 times 3, and 2 times 3 will give us 6x raised to the power of 2 minus 1, that will give us what? 1. And this will give us 6x. That is using the general method. All right, but in this video, we're going to use the first principles. Now, this is the first principle formula. This is the first principle formula. But you can also do it in another way without using this formula itself. It's still the same. Please, I want you to pay attention to this, most especially students writing WAEC or joints or NECO. In further mathematics, you may be asked to use the first principle to solve equations in calculus. You may be asked. Yes, they used to set it. All right, let's continue. Let me write the equation. Y equals to 3x squared. All right, so what you are going to do is that anywhere you come across y, you will represent it with y plus change in y. And anywhere you come across x, you represent it with what? X plus change in x. All right, why do we do that? Is that the y dx himself means change in y over what? Over change in x. So let's represent this one with y plus change in y, which gives us y plus change in y equals to 3 into brackets. We are representing this x, although it has a square, but leave the square now. X with this. So we have x plus change in x. Put the power here equals to this. So what we are going to do is that y plus change in y equals to 3. If you expand this using binomial expansions, this will give us x squared plus 2x change in x plus change in x squared. Now we have y plus change in y equals to 3. You use this 3 to open the brackets. And if you use this 3 to open the bracket, we have 3 times this will give us 3x squared plus 3 times this will give us 6x change in x plus 3 times this will give us 3 change in x squared. So now we are looking for the y dx, that is change in y over change in x. So we bring this one to the other side, and we have change in y equals to 3x squared plus 6x change in x plus 3 change in x squared. Bring this one. By the time this y cross the equality sign, to change to minus y, which is equals to this. So we have change in y equals to 3x squared plus 6x change in x plus 3 change in x squared. Y, remember from the beginning that y is given to be what? This. This tells us that the value of this y is this. So by substituting this into this, we have minus 3x squared. Okay, now if you should look at it, we see that 3x squared, and we also have minus 3x squared here. So this, we cancel this. It's just like you saying, because they are the same. It's just like you saying 2, having 2 here, and we have minus 2 here. So 2 minus 2 will give us 0. So this, we cancel this. They will turn to 0. So we have change in y equals to, we are left with 6x change in x plus 3 change in x squared. Right. Okay. Now what we are going to do is that we divide both sides by change in x. So we have change in y over change in x equals to 6x change in x over change in x plus 3 change in x squared over change in x. I hope we are getting it. All right. So we have change in y over change in x equals to this change in x cancel this. We are not left with 6x. All right. Here we have 3 change in x squared. This change in x squared is just like change in x times another change in x. So by the time you multiply this together, it will give you change in x squared. So this one we cancel 1 out of it. We are not left with 1. I hope you are getting it. This one we cancel 1 out of this because this is another way we can represent it. So this one we cancel 1 out of it. So we are not left with 3 change in x. All right. So we have okay, what we are going to do next is that you will take the limits, taking the limits as change in x approaches 0, thanks to 0. So we have change in y over change in x equals to 6x plus 3. We have taken the limits that change in x approaches what? 0, thanks to 0. So we substitute it with 0. We have change in y over change in x equals to 6x. By the time you use 3 to multiply 0, it will still give us 0. So leave it. You don't need of writing it. So change in y over change in x is the same thing as the y, the x over the x. So we have the y, therefore the y, the x equals to 6x. So as we can see that using the first principle and the general method of they are the same. We both arrive at the same answers. Thank you. Please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, like, comment. Thank you.